welcome to today's episode of the Group Therapy Podcast. Today we have a returning guest, and I think he's a cool dude, but the Junkman from the Junkman channel on YouTube, and then on the Twitters and the Instagrams and all that fun stuff. So what's been going on there, Junkman?
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Always welcome. You know that. So, we're both the Star Wars collectors, going way back.
I've never seen Star Wars. I don't know what you're talking about.
Never seen Star Wars. I believe it's one of them picture shows that you used to be able to go to the movies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think my dad saw it.
And your dad saw it?
Yeah.
But, I got to bring this up because I need somebody to complain to, and you're the guy that I can complain to on this. I collect the new stuff. You don't really collect the new stuff.
Unless it's something cool. Unless it's something cool and not overpriced, I might pick it up. But.
Yeah. But so are you one of the people that's been going out to Ollie's and Ross's and picking up the stuff?
No, I go in there and look around. But I don't think I ever bought anything. They had a big sale today, and I know my buddy Russ wanted me to go, but he didn't text me. I said, "We going?" He didn't ever say nothing. So,
see, our Ollie's is at the next town north of us, and I went in there not last week, a couple weekends ago, and everybody's like, "Oh man!" I go in there, it's the peg warmer stuff again.
Yeah,
for the most part, you probably get these lucky people who go to the Rosses or to the Ollie's, and they're going in and finding a few of the good stuff, and it's going to be what it was a few years ago during Last Jedi. I had to think about it for a minute. I had a guy contact me, and he's like, "Hey, you buy Star Wars toys?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." And he goes, "I got some figures." I was like, "Bring them up, man. I'll buy them." Excuse me. Brings me a banana box. Opens it up. It's full of the Black Series figures. And I'm like, "All right, sweet." I pull it out. It's all the same two figures. It's Snoke and Rose Tico's. It's an entire box full of them. And I guarantee you there was 100 figures, and probably 75 of them are Rose Tico. The other 25 were Snoke's. And I looked at him. I was like, "Nah, I'm going to pass." He goes, "Well, you told me you bought these." I'm like, "You told me you had figures, not just two of the same figure, a box full." I was like, "I'll give you a couple bucks a piece for them, for a couple of them." I was like, "But I don't need 100 of them." And he kind of got pissy and left. I was like, I pretty wanted to ask if you dug them out of the dumpster at Ollie's.
Either that or he's a scalper and bought them when they first came out and then realized.
Well, what's bad is that I've been doing this stuff forever. I've been in the comic book business. I've been doing it since I was 15. I watched when you could go buy a big tote full of loose figures for next to nothing. And now I'm seeing them, because now even the junk figures, people want $5 to $10 for the junk figures. And, I don't need another 10 Bespin guards or anything like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But, and then people bring that stuff in. And I buy all the vintage stuff because the vintage stuff will eventually sell, even if it's the garbage peg warmer figures. But a lot of people complain about peg warmers. Like, you guys realize this stuff has been there since pretty much day one.
Oh. Yeah, it's a lot more than just peg warmer. I mean, it's all of them.
Well, what was the I want to say the original peg warmer was probably the Death Star Commander.
With the Venge line?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've kind of researched for videos, and it seems like it was a regional thing. Because I know I've heard that some people in some areas like, I couldn't find this, I couldn't find that. And then some of them was like Stormtrooper. I remember in California, people was complaining they couldn't find Stormtroopers in California. And then other areas, they were like, we got too many Stormtroopers. So
I remember getting a lot of Stormtroopers, but everybody was buying them because everybody wanted, 20 Stormtroopers. But then you got, like me, my parents were like, you already got 2. You don't need more.
Yeah, I think all I ever had was 2.
What's the or the Luke X-wing pilot guy? I was like, well, I need other
Yeah.
pilots for my. Nope, you got one.
You
That's your
got one
Luke.
ship and you got one pilot. That's all you need.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Were your parents like that? Did they allow you one figure, one figure, one figure?
Yeah, but luckily I had a grandma, and every time we went to Kmart, she'd let us get something. So, so
See,
yeah, that helped.
my kids are spoiled, man, because they're like, I'm like, well, you need army builders. So that's
Yeah. I didn't know anybody that had army builders though back then. Like I said, two, maybe three stormtroopers, about all I ever saw.
yeah. I had a friend had like I think he had like 5 or 6 of them, but it was because he bought them because he would always tell his like grandma, he'd tell his aunts, tell his uncles. So his parents weren't buying them like other relatives were for Christmas and his
Yeah.
birthdays and stuff.
Well, they had so many figures, you almost didn't want to spend your chance of getting something on something you had. So
Yeah, that's true, definitely. What's Now it's funny because I've got I don't know 200 stormtroopers and clone troopers between
yeah,
the vintage line and the new ones because I'm an idiot.
they have done a lot of clone troopers.
Well, I got my that big book that tells you, and it was worst part about it is it was as soon as it came out, it was outdated, and it would tell you all the figures.
Yeah, yeah, that's the problem with most of those books by the time they come out.
But what's really nice is now you got the internet, so now you can look up when you're missing figures or you're missing not figures, you're missing the guns or whatever. You can figure out what guns go with what figure and look them all up.
Yeah, when I started collecting in the '90s, it was hard because the back of the package and stuff is sometimes drawn.
Yeah,
So it was always you try to match it with the picture on the back, and then sometimes people would say no, it came with this. No one, there was really no one knew for sure, so it was really a challenge back then.
because you got. I remember getting IG-88, and he came with like the stormtrooper pistol, and then the big rifle. But I had two of them, and one of them I'd gotten years later, and he had the snowtrooper big
Yeah,
rifle. But that had the extra little piece up here,
yeah,
where the other one just had the straight gun.
yeah. It's almost the same. Yeah,
Yeah, just that stupid little thing at the bottom.
and then you get some that's like the I guess they call them the bounty hunter gun, and some of them's black and some of them's blue. So you got to know which one came with a blue one, which one came with a black one.
Yeah, see that's what I'm running into now. I just bought a big tote full of like guns and weapons. So I'm pulling them out and I'm finding, the new Star Wars stuff, but I'm finding a bunch of the vintage guns and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, why is this one black? Why is this one blue? Okay, why is this? Okay, so does this one go?
Yeah, and the Luke Stormtrooper comes with a black, and all the other ones were blue.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know they just stick a Stormtrooper gun with him, but that black one's hard to find.
Well, then you get the TIE fighter pilot that comes with that little tiny gray gun.
Oh yeah, I hate those. Yeah, yeah,
Little guns that always came up missing, like Princess Leia's and
yeah. Leia's guns always.
and then I had forgot until I got some recently. I forgot that Cloud Car Driver came with like a walkie-talkie.
Yeah,
Jeez. So
yeah. That's real small too.
yeah, little tiny thing. So I have to ask you, did you have a favorite figure out of the original line that was not Boba Fett?
Growing up, it was always Han Hall. That was my go-to figure.
It's dumb. I don't know if you had this problem. I did. Because I've had like 3 Hoth Han Solos, but their legs would pop off or break off real easy. Same way with the heads on the Death Star Commander. They would always break off.
Really? I know. I never had. The only one I know that had a problem was EV-99. His arms break off, but I didn't have him. I never had him as a kid.
Yeah, he's that little fragile, super late toy line. Then you got them all now. You got a complete run of the vintage, right?
Yeah, I've got like 5 figures that's not complete that I've had since the '90s, and I just can't bring myself to. I keep saying, okay, I got to complete them, but then it's like a Ewok bow, and it's like $200 just for the bow, and it's hard to do. So
yeah,
I need to get off my ass and at least get the last 4, 4 or 5 complete.
Well, I bought some a while back, and I got the Ewoks that they're considered the final 17, but they're not the final 17.
It's the last 15, but people say last 17. 2 Ewoks were released very late in Return of the Jedi line.
Yeah. Now I've got both of them, but they're incomplete, and I'm like, I want to put them together, but I also don't want to pass.
That's mostly I'm missing those Power of the Force Ewoks, the accessories for them, and when I moved, I lost Lando General's gun, and that was a hard gun to find. So.
That's the one that kills me was I sold my Luke in Stormtrooper, but the crazy part about it is I got Luke in a garage sale like decades later, and I bought him in a garage sale, no helmet, and I was hanging out waiting for my buddy one day, and he hasn't gotten home yet, so I'm literally like walking around the block, and in the crack of the sidewalk was the Luke Stormtrooper helmet.
Oh, yeah, lucky.
Nowhere.
Oh,
and I'm like, holy crap. So I went home, put him in there, and then when I was broke years ago, I had to sell him because, I was broke.
I understand. I sold a carded Luke Stormtrooper and it killed me. Ooh. So, but my helmet, I didn't have a helmet for about 10 years because that was always so expensive. And then I got lucky at a toy show and found one for $50. It was hard enough paying $50 for it then.
That's what kills me. And now you got to worry about the repros because now people are sneaking repro stuff in there to screw with people.
Yeah, you got to really look in detail. You ask on a message board, and you get 5 different answers.
Mm-hmm. I bought some a while back, and literally I get out my jeweler's loop, and I'm like looking at it.
Yeah, I got a Power of the Force coin, Han and Carbonite, and I don't know if it's real or not. So I don't know what to do with it. So I've asked, and like I said, I've gotten so many different answers.
So. It's ridiculous. We're in this because I got the comic book shop and I sell toys and magic and all that stuff right now. We're getting all these knockoffs coming in from China that look, especially like magic cards that are ridiculously close. I talked to a guy of mine. He's like, yeah, he goes, I just got the Stormtrooper Luke. And I'm like, he goes, oh, it's a reproduction. No. Like, did you get it? And he's like, no, I ordered it from overseas. I'm like, so it's not one of the guys that does it, here in America. Yeah. So now they're doing them in China and you can't tell. So
no, they're going to flood the market with them too. So,
yeah. Well, I guess eventually I could end up with one again. It may not be a real one. But...
Yeah. I mean, if it don't bother you, like it bothers me, but I know some people don't bother. So I don't got nothing against somebody that has some. It just, for me, I just want the,
if I get a fake one, it'll go in the collection until I get a real one, and then the fake one will get.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'll give it to my kid or something.
Yeah. That's more I worry about. It's like if I have the fake ones and I die, then my kids will just throw it all up on eBay and they won't know. So I don't want to rip anybody off, even if I'm in the ground.
That's what I told my wife recently. We moved into this house, and all my stuff's down here. And I was like, when I die, you got a lot of shit to go through.
Yeah, I'm hoping I find out. I hope if I get cancer or something, I'm selling everything. So if you watch one of my videos and everything's missing in the background, I got 6 months to live.
See, my kids get everything. My son, now 23-year-old, he gets pretty much everything because he's the only one that wants it.
My son's like, oh, I'll take it. And then he's like, well, how much money would I get if I was like, okay.
Well, that's what my wife does. She goes, I was like, these 3 books on this shelf. She goes, how much is that? I was like, it's $20,000 for 3 books. Yes. And she's like, we could, that's a huge chunk of payments on the house. I'm like, I know it's a huge chunk of payments on the house. I was like, but no, do not sell those.
You got to sometime.
Yeah. I don't know. I have fun and right now I'm going through the whole phase where I'm legitimately, about a year ago, I decided to actively start getting back the original vintage figures. And I know it's going to be expensive, but I'm not doing any carded. I'm not doing anything. And I've lucked into some of the high dollar ones just that come through the shop. And I'm like, okay, well, set them aside. And then I end up doing something stupid, and every time I buy Star Wars figures, I end up with the couple Battlestar Galactica figures.
Okay. Yeah.
So now I'm like, now I got a bunch of Cylons. So we'll put,
Well, you can trade them for vintage Star Wars figures.
yeah, I like
You
the
don't want.
Cylons though; those were
Yeah, the
great.
Cylon's pretty cool. I wouldn't mind having a Cylon.
Yeah, one of these days, if I get another one, I'll send it to you. You can have a
Huh,
Cylon.
appreciate it.
Yeah, your dogs are visiting. Mine, I had to run upstairs.
Yeah, he's over here like, who are you talking to? He looks at me like he don't know what. He
Gotta
don't
love it.
understand I'm talking to a box over here.
And he's like, why are you, Dad? What's going on now?
Yeah. He's like, you talking to me? And he looks at me like he's confused.
So yeah, I see you finally got your Empire Strikes Back lunchbox. Is that the one you were having
Yeah.
trouble finding? Or was
Yes.
it for
I
Return
have
of the
all
Jedi?
three. Yeah.
Yeah,
Although I think there's two different. I think there's two Empire ones.
I
There's
know
two
I
Jedi
have.
ones. Off the top of
Uh,
my head, I can't remember.
oh, hold on a second. I know I got. Uh, ah, yes.
Okay, yeah, that's right. With snow speeder on it.
Yep. That,
Yeah.
that one right there.
I need that one. I forgot there were two of them.
That one is completely.
But I think that's the one I had as a kid. I don't know how I forgot that one.
This is not. This is the one I got much later, but I've had that one forever. And then the plastic one.
Plastic. Yeah, I can't get into plastic ones, but
Well, I just get
I understand
what I can. So right now, the only one I think I'm missing the original Star Wars one.
that's what I got it. I don't know if you can see it. Is
Yeah,
it in the shot?
Yep.
Yeah, that's my original one. And
Is
it's
that
got-
your original one that you've had for since you were a kid?
Yeah, and it's got my beat up Star Wars figures in it now, just like when that's why I used to keep Star Wars figures. Yeah.
Are there the Star Wars figures you dug out of the ground that you found?
I think some of them might be. Yeah, I think some of them might be.
I'm not gonna lie. I watched that. How the hell did you find them years later?
It's a lot edited out. You
Okay.
notice it was like I did a part one and part two with months in between. But I had a couple other guys, my brother and his friend. They were older when we buried them, so they kind of had a more. They could see the area more than we could. So they kind of knew this, at least because it was a big area. So they was like, okay, it's got to be within this. And we're kids; we didn't dig too deep. So it was mostly just walking around sticking the shovel in the ground.
Those who have not seen your channel, why did you, as a child, bury your Star Wars figures in the middle of nowhere?
So I could dig them up on YouTube.
Before you knew what YouTube was, you were.
I think everybody buries stuff, didn't they? I think I probably saw an episode or something where they had a time capsule, and I was probably like, cool. So me and my brother probably put our doubles in there and buried it to go back and get it one day. And we also buried at my grandmother's house a box that my brother thinks has a vinyl cape Jawa in it. Him and his friends, and she passed away, and we had a metal detector, went all around the yard, couldn't ever find it. So somebody else lives there now, so it's probably there somewhere.
See, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to buy the house I grew up in because I remember playing with my Star Wars figures I had a sandbox, but it was a tractor tire full of sand, and that should just slowly get settled down. And part of me wants to go out there and see if I could dig where that was, because I know there's toys in the ground somewhere.
Yeah, there's a picture on the internet. Somebody left their stormtrooper in a tree. Have you seen that? And the tree growed all around it and everything. So I was like, okay.
Well, as a kid, I was one of them kids that I kept immaculate care of, for the most part, of my toys, because I grew up not with a whole lot of money, so I got what I had and I appreciated it and stuff like that. So I kept like super paranoid care of all my stuff. Yeah. And man, it's bad because I like look back and I still have like a couple figures that I've had since I was a little kid. And my Luke Skywalker, the foot's fallen off of him because I just played with him to death from like 1978 till whatever. And it's as tough as some of them figures were, some of them were super super fragile.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, they were.
yeah.
But
The,
I
the
remember having like a shoebox full of figures and took them to a friend's house. And my mom was like, "Don't take them over there. You're gonna lose them." And this is probably 83, 84. But it was right at the age where I was getting ready to stop playing with toys. So I left them over there. Like, I'll get them later. And then I never even, I don't think I hung out with him. I didn't even care about toys anymore. It was like my last day of caring about toys. Then, like in the 90s, I was like, oh, wish I knew where they were. So they were gone forever.
yeah, there's there's a few years between us. I get ready. I'm going to turn 50 in June of next year.
Okay, yeah, just turned 51.
Anyway, see, I was one of them kids that I was by myself a lot. So I held on to my toys probably way longer than I should have.
Yeah, I think I did too. My brother, me and him played with the toys a lot, but then he was older. He's like 4 years older. So they're running 12 and 13 probably when everybody else would stop playing. I had them at my grandma's house, and I would go over there and still play He-Man and Star Wars for
yeah. I played with them probably till right around junior high, the end of junior high, first years of high school, and then you're like, I probably should stop playing with this. I'm in high school. I'm an adult now.
Yeah.
No, now there's kids that come in my shop that are like, oh yeah, I play with the toys. I'm like, you're 17, man.
Nah, I get people on my channel, adults say they still play with them. I was like, I might have them, I might set them up, but I don't play with them.
No, I cheat. I play with them with my youngest son.
Okay, yeah. One of my daughter and my son, we used to play with them then. But
yeah, the only the one of the best things ever. I also collected GI Joe. I told my kids, I was like, okay, they wanted to play with GI Joe and Star Wars, so I dug them out of my garage. And I was like, all right, you guys can play with them. Just be careful with them because they were getting to that age where they learn how to take care of the toys and stuff. And their oldest brother was watching them, and me and my wife went to the movies or wherever we went. And we come home, all the furniture is moved out of the front room, pushed up against the walls, and the entire floor is a battle scene. And my kids were playing.
That's great. That's
really like,
fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, what you can do is, and then I was like, am I one of the only kids that like used cardboard boxes and built bases out?
No, we all did that. We had a Fruiterator box one time, and it was the best space station that we ever had.
Yeah. I made one, and it was huge, made out of boxes. I took remember like the little Casio watch TVs and stuff like that. I mounted them like in the walls, so there was actually working screens and stuff inside the base. I put Christmas lights in there so you could walk down the hallway and there'd be lights hanging down. Man,
yeah, I wasn't that good. My brother was pretty good. He had a shoebox, and he would put doors and windows and take a light bulb out with some flashlights and wire them up in there. And I was never that. I didn't have the patience or the time or the skill.
I was a latchkey kid that lived by himself so I had all the time in the world when I came home from school when I wasn't in detention.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Now, so we talk about the vintage stuff and stuff. What do you think of the new figures?
They're kind of overpriced and they're boring. Every once in a while, I'll see something that's kind of cool, but it's like, how many times? There's a new Boba Fett out, and I was like, how many times can I buy Boba Fett? It looks just like all the other Boba Fetts I got. So I never did get it. And I'm not a big fan of the tall figures, the 6-inch Black Series. I was when they first came out, but they're just so. I just prefer smaller if I'm going to get them. So.
The only ones the big figures I get is I did get Boba Fett, but I got that really nice one. It comes with all the pieces. And then Clone Troopers and Stormtroopers. That's the only 6-inch ones I got.
Yeah.
I probably have other ones, but they're just because I bought a collection and I happen to get a Han or a Luke or something like that. Usually those get sold.
Yeah, Walmart's got a Boba Fett like on a vintage card, 6-inch.
Yeah.
It was like $35. I was like,
it's ridiculous. It's the same thing. I don't get. Let's see, where'd I put it here? I know I just set them down here. The retro line figures that are the style of the old ones.
Yeah, I usually buy all of them, but I haven't I kind of got behind on them.
And I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, you have this one. You have the Hunter that just came out.
Okay.
Super, articulated, removable helmet, all that stuff. Like I think like 18 or 19. Chopper, just super basic, same price.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I don't get it.
He's smaller. He should be cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, the retro figures I were buying, but I never got the Jedi ones, and now I'm kind of behind. So I'm like, well,
I order them because I do keep them for the shop. But I have to watch what cases they come in, what comes in the case, because, okay, you got, 2 Ahsokas, you got 1 Hera, you got Chopper, blah, blah, blah. And then you get the cases where you get, okay, you're going to come with 2 of this figure and 2 of that figure. And you're like, looking at them like, nobody's going to buy those. Next case.
Yeah. I ordered the Jedi ones, and they went on back order. I ordered them in April, and in September they still hadn't shipped them, so I just canceled it. They're way too long. I didn't even care about them anymore. And then the Series 2 of the Jedi Retro ones are Hasbro pulls only. They come in that box. You got to buy them all at one time.
Yeah.
So I like to buy my figures one at a time.
I don't want the vintage line stuff in a box. I want the vintage line stuff on a card.
Well, they come in a card in the box.
Yeah.
But the first ones I gave them, called the first 12, they did sell them in Canada in a box just like that. So that was kind of cool. But now they're just sticking them in a box just to get me to buy them.
I'm not. What was it? 97 when they re-released the early birds with the original style. No, I love those, and I have no clue to this day what the hell happened to any of them.
I bought 3 or 4. That Chewbacca over here is a from that set.
Now I got hold on a second. I got to show you something that up until recently I didn't even know existed. The vinyl Return of the Jedi case.
That's my holy grail. That's the one I need.
Yeah, it's not in the best of shape. It's got a couple dings in the corner, but it's still got the snap.
What?
It's got the red trays.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Empire and I got Star Wars. That's the one I need.
Yeah. And
I saw one at a toy show in Nashville, and they wanted $350 for it. And I was like, no, I can't. I can't do it.
I bought it, and I didn't even think about what case it was when I bought it.
Yeah.
And I just bought the figures. Didn't even think about the case.
Oh.
And the case is worth way, way more than the figures.
Yeah, the case is harder to find than those figures are.
Yeah. I didn't even know that existed up until relatively recently. What was really cool was a couple years back, I went to a junk store, and there was an old school Matchbox case. And I was like, oh, cool, man. Maybe I'll buy some old 70s Matchboxes or Hot Wheels. I opened it up. Somebody had shoved the Star Wars figures inside of it.
Oh,
so I'm like, whatever. And I looked at the guy. I was like, at the counter, I was like, how much for this? He goes, $10. I'm like, sold.
Sold. Yeah. Yeah.
Every once in a while, you can still get lucky and find stuff like that. But
probably about 10 years ago, maybe a little bit more. And I went to a yard sale, and they just advertised Star Wars toys. I went and looked, and they had some ships in it. And I was like, and they had me figures. I was like, you got any figures? And the guy was like, I think I'm going to hold on to them. And his wife was like, you better go get those figures and sell them. So he came over like a shoebox. And first thing my eye went straight to that blue Snaggletooth. And I was like, how much you want for them? And he was like, I don't know. How about $100? And I was like, okay.
Sold.
I was like, okay. I was like, you take a check.
Well, a couple years back, I'm at the shop. My mom calls me. She goes, I'm over here at this garage sale, and this guy has Star Wars stuff in the box. And I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be, new stuff. Yeah. And she sends me a picture, and it's all Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
All of it. It's the Wampa in the box. It's a Tauntaun in the box. It's the little arcade game thing in the box. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, how much do they want for it? She goes, well, he wants to figure. I'm like, okay, crap. So I was like, all right. I call my son up, make him come to the shop, run the shop. I head out of town to go to this guy's house. End up getting there. Guy's got a bunch of Star Wars still complete in the box, the instruction manuals, everything. Huge GI Joe collection, and then a bunch of the old Superpowers DC Superpowers toys.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there staring at him. I'm looking at him. He's like, he goes, I go, how much do you want for everything? And he goes, well, there's about $1,200 worth of stuff here.
Mm.
And he goes, you got $600 cash? And I went,
That's a good deal.
Get it.
Yeah, like I'll find a way to get it.
I went, I hauled ass, did a couple things, come back with $600. I was like, pull it now.
Yeah.
Set it aside. I will be right back.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
And I hauled ass, came back, and I wish I would have kept I kept the figures. I sold the play sets because play sets are just too big and bulky. Because
I don't really have that many anymore either.
Yeah, and so I sold all those, made most of my money back just selling Star Wars play sets.
Yeah, I don't know if you have a second of Charles out there. It's kind of like
we got around. It's about an hour south of here.
I went to one and they had it was right before they was about to close for the night, and they had Ewoks and droids figures on card. They wanted like $50 a piece for them. They had Boba Fett on the droid card for $100. So I bought Boba Fett because I knew that one was worth a couple of $1,000. And I said, I don't got enough for all of them, but it was going to bother me. And I got on the Facebook group, one of those collector groups, and told them. And I was like, okay, I can go back in the morning and get them. I'll put them on my credit card or something. And somebody from that collector group called down there and got them to hold it for them. I couldn't get them. And I saw them sitting by. I said, they're right here. I got the money right now. The guy's not even paid for it yet. But
God dang. Well, it's like a couple years back, I had there's my youngest son. Hey, bud, go upstairs, dude. What do you need?
I'm hiding from him.
You're hiding from him. Go play, bud.
Who are you talking
I can still see him.
That's the Junkman.
I can still see him.
He can still see you. He can see you through the
yeah.
But I had a girl get a hold of me. She's like, hey, she goes, you buy Star Wars figures? I'm like, yeah. And she goes, well, I got some carded ones. Would you give me $10 a piece for them? I went, yeah.
Yeah.
Cash? I'm like, yeah.
As long as they're not orange card from 1996.
No, it was all. Don't get me wrong. It was mostly Return of the Jedi, and it was your, of course, like General Maydean. It was Klaatu. Some of the skiff guys and stuff. And then I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I kind of need money. And a guy offered me like 5 times what I paid for them. I'm like, yep, they're gone.
I don't blame you.
What are you doing, dude? Yeah. So do you still have a Holy Grail that you're looking for?
Many. Yeah. Like I said, the carrying case, the Jedi carrying case is one of them. Not Star Wars related. I want a Thomas Magnum or Ferrari action figure. Those are hard to find. Star Wars ones, top of my head, doesn't it? That carrying case. There's something else that's going over my head right now.
What's sad is that one of my best friends growing up, because you talk about the Magnum, when his parents, they just moved. They just left their house. They had an old house trailer that they grew up in. And in their bedroom, they just trashed their bedroom. So at one point, they just stopped going in their bedroom.
Yeah.
And we went in there one time, and there was just toys from back in the late 70s or in the early 80s, just on the floor, thrown wherever. I found like the Michael Knight, the Knight Rider with the Michael Knight. I found the Ferrari, the Magnum Ferrari. I don't think I found Magnum, but I found the Ferrari. I found the Ertl Fall Guy.
That'd be cool to have too.
Actual metal truck.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, I wish we should have went through that. I'm like, I tried to go through your house so many times, but you guys destroyed it. And they just basically bulldozed this trailer, and all those toys are gone. And I was like, and he goes, yeah, it was a lot of money, wasn't it? And I went,
yeah,
it was a lot of money, man. A lot of money. So, and I'm going to ask you though, you're a Fall Guy fan. Are you going to go see the movie?
Probably not.
Probably not.
If I hear good things, I might watch it at home, but it doesn't look like a Fall Guy movie. It looks like they just put the name Fall Guy on it.
Yeah,
It didn't look much like a Fall Guy.
well, it looks like it's a comedy and not a. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. The original series was not a.
Dad,
What?
what are you talking to?
Talk to the Junkman. I already told you, bud.
Mhm.
The original not Toyline. The original series was, pretty. What action? Comedy, I guess.
Yeah.
And but now this looks like they're just going for mostly comedy with action instead of action with a little bit of comedy.
I only think he's a bounty hunter in it. So
Yeah, no, because he's just a guy who's going out trying to find the.
yeah, I guess he's looking for somebody, but I guess maybe that's his first assignment, and then he becomes about it. It just seems like, they just threw the name on it, but
Yeah, they're like, hey,
I
we
didn't
got the
see a
rights to
Howie
Fall Guy.
character.
Use it.
I didn't even see a Howie character or anything. So
Well,
I don't know.
it's one of them things that now we're getting all these reboots and revamps of stuff, and all the good stuff I think is I don't want to say they're going to ruin it because I'll always give everything a chance because sometimes it can blow you away and it can be really good, and other times it can be total and utter garbage. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I think they did okay with the A-Team. It wasn't great, but at least they kind of stuck with the theme of the show.
I went in the first time I watched it. I was like, okay, this is okay.
Yeah.
And now I've grown to appreciate it. I really kind of like. I don't get me wrong. When they destroy the van, that irritates the shit.
Yeah. But
wait. But yeah, it's I don't know. That's like I keep hearing that NBC is supposed to bring back Knight Rider and Airwolf.
Or
was it CBS? But I'm like,
bring back everything.
Yeah, you can only bring back so much before it gets a little tiresome. But
yeah, I didn't even care. I know they brought Magnum back, and I was like, if Tom Selleck ain't got nothing to do with it, I ain't gonna watch it. So.
Mm-hmm. One of them things. Okay, go play. Go
play. He looks like about 18 years old.
He is 13, and he is ginormous. He's 13. He has autism, so he gets stuck sometimes. Okay. But he's bigger than me. He outweighs me. He's just a fuzz shorter than me. And I'm like, I'm gonna dread it here in about 2 or 3 months when he's bigger than me all the way around.
Yeah. Shut up! I'll do what I want to.
Yeah.
Too big.
But oh my god, no! It's I'm sitting over here staring at this. I got my.
No, I got mine right here. It's inside the big one. I got the
little coffee mug. I got the cup somewhere. I don't know what the hell I did with it. I know it. It's probably sent it to shop. Probably got ink pens in it. That's where most.
Yeah. See, I got.
Oh, you got the picture.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And
that is awesome. Yeah. I've got the mug, and then I got like just the tumbler cup.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But the problem with the tumbler cup was evidently somebody like left it in the dishwasher or something. It got melted on one point. That's why I think it's a cup. It's an ink pen cup now.
Yeah.
It has devolved into the ink pen cup. So I keep wanting to ask you this. Me and my son pointed this out to me. Everybody complains Disney has killed Star Wars. And I was like, okay, I don't think you can kill Star Wars. I was like, because at one time, remember, the only thing we had Star Wars. Then we got the holiday special, Splinter in the Mind's Eye, and we have Marvel Star Wars. So we have a giant green bunny rabbit hanging out with Solo. We survived that. We will survive anything that Disney can throw to.
Well, I'm a big fan of the Marvel Star Wars, so I'm not going to say. The Marvel comics. The comics, I have them all. And there are some cheesy ones, though. There are some bad ones in there.
Over the pandemic, I was finally able to get the entire run.
Oh, really?
All 107 issues, plus a couple.
3 annuals.
Yeah. An
Yeah,
annual.
luckily I got them in the '90s, and they were in like the dollar bins.
Well, that's what's killing me now because there's books that I know I have, and I cannot. My collection. I have a massive comic book collection, and some of it's put away, and I'm trying to get. I have the app to be able to put everything into the computer. It tells me what I have, what I need, and I know I have those Star Wars comics, but I my app kept telling me I didn't, and so I finally broke down, and I'm like, oh, okay, some of the stuff should be cheap, so I was able to pick up most of it, and then I get down to the stuff that's like super expensive, and I'm like, why is Empire Strike? Oh, it's first appearance of Boba Fett. Okay, why is that? Oh, it's the first appearance of Yoda. Uh,
Yeah, and
and it's just one of the ones where you think it should be cheap because for decades upon decades upon decades, the Star Wars Marvel stuff was just choking dollar boxes, and outside of like what the original 5 maybe were the only ones worth anything. You can wait, bud.
I did buy some of the early ones, like reprints. They got reprint on the side of them. I wish I bought the originals, but at the time I was like, well, as long as I got a full set, I'm okay. But still,
Yeah. Well, what got me was I had the Whitman, the little diamond one of issue 1.
Yeah.
And it doesn't say second print. It's just Whitman. It has the Whitman logo. And somebody goes, oh, that's a reprint, second print. I'm like,
yeah.
And now it's listed as a second print because when I had it, it was just the Whitman print. Right. Now it's classified as a second print. And then I don't know, a couple years back, I had this guy bring me in a bunch of stuff in the shop, and one of the things he brought me was Star Wars #1.
Oh, really?
Like, yes. So I was like, got it.
That's cool. Not the rare 35-cent cover though.
No, I wish. That's the only one I'm missing. And now I have all the big Marvel Treasury books.
Yeah, I never got those. Yeah.
Yeah, I love those stupid treasuries. So I have like all the Marvel.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I like to get good covers on them.
Yeah. The Marvel and it's funny because you have issue 1 and it's the first 3 issues, and issue 2 is 3, 4, and 5, or 4, 5, and 6. But then issue 3 is the collected, so it's all the issues in one, but that's issue 3 of the treasuries.
Right, yeah. It's all of them. That's crazy.
That's the one thing. It's like, yes, it's fun. That's why I usually lock the door, dude. Everybody needs a kid that runs down and hangs out while you're trying to record.
Yeah.
Now you're 90% Star Wars, and you got like your Han Solo and stuff like that. Your Han Solo, you're Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones, yeah.
With the bad hat.
It's a nice hat.
Nice.
All those looks like a Pen and Bear hat, but it's
it was horrible. I had
it was horrible
when I was a kid, and I replaced it with a cheap like Western toy, and it looked like a fedora more than a cowboy hat. So I was like, oh, that fits perfectly on his head. I mean, all it is Han Solo with different clothes on, but
yeah, I don't know why they went so cheap on the hat. It couldn't have saved them that much more money. They just made a plastic hat for him. But
yeah, oh man. So, what's the biggest disappointment for you with the original line of Star Wars figures?
Disappointment. That's hard because there's there's some key figures I would have liked to have, but can't think of a really disappointment. Doesn't it really?
Yeah, you didn't have like the shift.
Oh, you mean like a disappointment? Like when I got it, it was disappointing.
Yeah, like you were all pumped to get something.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is that Star Destroyer. Me and my brother wanted it really bad. We could never find it. But then in the '90s, when I finally saw it as a collector, I was like, I'm glad we didn't get this because it kind of sucks. So I think we would have been disappointed over there. But yeah, I can't think of anything we had that really, it's like, oh, this sucks.
Did you have like the grandparents that would go buy you the knockoff figures?
Yeah, we had one that would always go into Rivco, little dollar stores, get you something that looks like Star Wars. And you're like, what is this? So sometimes it was good if it was an alien because you could have it in the cantina and stuff. So.
Yep. Yeah, it's I found I want to say they were knockoff adventure people But they had like little alien heads and stuff like that. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, those work great for putting them with the in the cantina or with the all the you know.
I guess one of the bigger disappointments was I didn't have it, but my friend had the Vader carrying case head, and
Yeah.
I wanted it so bad. But once I saw he put the figures in it and picked it up, and all the figures fell to the bottom, it's like okay, I'll keep mine in a box.
Well, the problem with the Vader stupid case for me was that the snaps, the little
The snaps sucked too.
those
Yeah.
broke off. The then you opened them, and then those stupid little pieces that would hold your figures in would either break
Yeah.
or come.
Yeah, and they would never hold them anyway, especially a Jawa or a Ugnaught or something.
They fall right out because they're like you big. And then
you couldn't walk, you couldn't run with the carrying case. They'd be all over the place.
Well, it got worse when he got the the C-3PO one because that plastic was even more brittle than the plastic on the because it's that vacuumized plastic.
Yeah,
the little snaps would break easier. At least I found they did.
I don't know anybody that had the 3PO one. I think I was out of it by then, so never really seen one.
The one that I wish I would. I guess I still have one Grail that I would love to have. I wanted that blaster carrying case.
Yeah, I didn't know that I was out of it by the time they came out, but I think I would have liked it as a kid. I thought about getting it now. I want it. Like I did a video on it a couple of weeks ago.
It's the other one was the bandolier, which I thought would be cool, and then I got one about 2 years ago, and then all the foam is starting to rot, and so the figures just fall out.
That's got to be one of the nerdiest toys I've ever seen. I had a friend on the comic book store in the '90s, and he had probably 20 of them. He said people would bring them to him all the time, and he was giving them away and selling them dirt cheap. And I wish I bought one in the box now just because he was selling them.
Yeah, they'd be great to have. I mean, if you had one that was still in the box, but man, like I said, once you opened it, that foam just immediately started disintegrating. Yeah,
that's pretty. You would have got anybody who wore it as a kid would have got beat up. So yeah.
Well, there was like you did the video. What was it? The toys that would definitely get you beat up on the playground.
Yeah, I think that's been on the list a couple of times. Definitely.
It's the Star Wars, the bandolier. I used to have the G.I. Joe belt with the
little like a little plastic pill box or something you put your figures in. Yeah.
And now I'm like looking back at myself, like, how did I not get the crap kicked out of me as a kid? Because I know I wore it when I was a kid.
Especially if you wore them both at the same time. You
get your bandolier and you got your little...
and your dad would even kick your ass.
Then I go old school and then I'd go get the laser tag, wear the laser tag hat. And
see, I had a generic laser tag, so it wouldn't work with anybody else's in their neighborhood. So.
Yes. Which laser tag knockoff did you have?
I don't even remember the name of it.
Was it one of the ones that was like a vinyl and it would reflect back at the gun?
I can't even remember. I never played with it because it sucked. And everybody else had the real one, so I was like,
yeah, that's what happened to me. The 1 year for Christmas, I asked for laser tag, and my parents bought me the knockoff laser tag. Because it came with a drone that would roll around the floor.
Mine wasn't even that cool. Mine didn't have a drone. Mine just had the chest plate.
Well, it worked, but you had to reflect it back at the gun. The gun is what registered the thing. But I'm not gonna lie. One of my when laser tag was getting towards the end, I was this freshman in high school, and we had a KB Toys local. And a friend of mine worked at KB Toys. And he'd go, hey, he goes, we're getting ready to throw away a bunch of these laser tag toys that people open and tear apart. They play with them in the store. And I was like, sweet. I was like, I'll take them. Yeah. I go out there and I got the rifle. And I thought it'd be cool. So I dremeled out and put more lenses in it. So instead of just the one lens, I put like 3 in it so I could shoot further.
Smart.
And we play laser tag, and my buddies would be playing, and they'd be across the yard, and I'd be standing up on this like, and I'd be like, "Pew! What the hell?" I'm like, they can't hit me. I just stand up.
Yeah, it's very good.
then the fact that we never got Star Wars ones of those until like into what the mid '90s, I think, was just crazy.
Yeah, it's probably would have been perfect. But yeah,
There's it's funny looking back now and looking at the new toys and then going back and thinking about the stuff that I would have loved, you know. And I'm like, why didn't we get that? That seems like like that should have been something we got.
Yeah, there's a lot of like blockade runner. I'm surprised nobody. I was like, why couldn't we get a blockade runner as a kid? I know they planned it one time.
It was supposed to be what, the '85 season?
Yeah, 85 line. Yeah. But would have been cool.
But no, it's that one was disappointing. I remember wanting an AT-AT when I was a kid, and so what do I get? That cardboard one.
Oh. Yeah, my friend got the cardboard one. I was like, I got to add that. So I was like, okay, that's cool. So,
which is all it is the Sandcrawler.
Yeah, just
with different cardboard.
I think they did it base 3 times. I think, didn't they? There's a Rebel base that uses the same pad. Has the hanger background. Yeah, it's got the same.
Yep.
Yeah, I was lucky because me and my brother would play Star Wars. So like. With my grandma, my mom, my parents bought it for me. They would put both our names on it. Later, they put both our names on it. That way, they could save some money. They'd both be happy with it.
Well, the funny part about it is that I have an original '80 AT-AT, I have a '97 AT-AT, and then I have the 2007 AT-AT.
Yeah.
And I used to always do it. It was an ongoing joke that any guy asked me what I want for Christmas, I go an AT-AT. I was like, I've never got one for Christmas. I was like, that's what I still want. So my one buddy got me the little tiny AT-AT, Hot Wheel AT-AT for Christmas one year.
Yeah.
And one day I'm on Facebook and I just happened to be looking and it popped up. Somebody had a AT-AT missing the door and the cockpit cover, and $10. And I'm like, sweet. I was like, I'm like, I'll take it. I'll be right there and pick it up. I closed my store, drove over and picked it up. Hauled ass back. Well, then I had it, and my son looks at me because this is November-ish. And my older son, he goes, hey, Dad, he goes, how much you pay for that? I was like, $10. He walks over and he gives me $10 and he takes it from me. And I was like, what the hell, bud? And he goes, here. He hands it back to me and goes, no, shut up. You got one for Christmas.
There you go.
So now I can no longer ask for an AT-AT for Christmas.
Well, now you can say you want a complete AT-AT.
I want a complete AT-AT for Christmas.
Yeah. And then you can say you say you want a complete one. Then when you get it, you say you want one in a box.
I still have the box for the 97 one. And it's complete. The pieces have kind of fallen off. They're inside of it now.
Yeah.
So
is that the one with like the viewer screen inside the door?
I
got one like that, but I don't.
Yeah, it's got the light up lasers on the head, and those popped off because they're just little tiny hard plastic pins that hold it in.
Yeah.
So the pins like break like that. Those are inside of it. You got the view screen because you can hit it and it'll have all the same.
Yeah.
Then you got the great big one, the 2007 one, and that one I have is probably about 80% complete. And that sits behind me when I shoot my other show. And people are like, are those for sale? No, they're not.
I got the original, but it's missing the canopy and the chin guns and a couple of
that seems to be pretty common. The chin guns missing. I have a friend who goes, well, I can 3D print them for you. And part of me goes, well, until I get the real pieces, maybe I should 3D print it so it looks complete.
But then you'll never want to get the real pieces because you're like, you talk yourself out of it.
Yeah, I do. It's just setting up, and if you look inside of it, it's full of stormtroopers and snowtroopers. So
yeah.
Mine
has a Borg sitting in it. So.
I like it.
Here's a Borg sitting in it.
Yeah, Borg Funko Pop. I just realized that.
Well, so I got to ask you on this one. So, did you think that the Playmates Star Trek line was going to last 2 seasons?
Oh, at least get a series 2, but it seems like that series 1 was out for a year. I mean, if they did more than just 3 of each, man, I was hoping, at least I didn't even see Next Generation at the store. I just saw the movie ones. That's all the ones I ever saw.
Yeah, see, I didn't see them either. And then they're like, Playmates is calling it in to the Star Trek Nation. I'm like, they had Star Trek figures out?
Yeah, I just remember I was covering the news when it first came out. I saw
I think you never saw it.
What was real bad? Oh my god! What was real bad was the foot. I have a guy who comes in every once in a while and he keeps trying to sell me. I think a Riker, because it's got a stupid low number on his foot, and I'm like, dude, I was like, nobody buys these anymore.
No, nobody. In the 90s, we were all fighting for low numbers.
Oh my god! I remember going to the store and you'd always flip them over. Nope, not look. Nope. Oh, this one.
Yeah, you can't. I have a rare Thomas Riker. It's a really rare figure. Guy offered me $600 for it at a toy show, and I was like, this is like 96, 97. So I'm like, if it's $600 now, it's going to be double that in 10 years, and now I couldn't give it away. I was like,
that's like I had one. I had a Borg, and I think like the number on the foot was like 23.
Yeah, I always bought low numbers if I found them. I was like,
it's. I was working at a comic book store back in the 90s when those all came out, and that's all you would do. You have people come in, and they would be like, well, can I see that figure? Nope. Can I see that figure? Nope.
I did it a lot. Yeah.
It's better. My buddy worked at Walmart during that whole thing. He's like, oh, you would just have them guys just standing in there just.
Yeah, I don't know why we care so much, but yeah, I would. Even if I was going to buy, if I just wanted it, I would buy the lowest number I could find, even if I was going to open it.
Well, that's like I talked to one guy a while back, and he said that he got one that was so low that people don't know how he got it.
Really?
Because those numbers were never supposed to go out.
Well, my Thomas Riker, that's rare. Another reason he wanted it was so much is it's number 1 on the foot.
Holy shit.
And I emailed Playmate, and they said no, they kept all the number 1s. There's no number 1s out there, so I think it's just a misprinted number. But I was like, when I first saw it at the store, I was happy because it was so rare to find. Yeah, I flipped it over, and I was like, my buddy was with me. I was like, tell me what that says. I was like, make sure I'm not reading 1,000.
Yeah, it's not backwards. Not.
Yeah. It wasn't hardly ever. It always like right where the crease where the plastic was. So it was always kind of hard to. But it's 00001. But I guess it's just a misprint.
Yeah. Well, I was told like the first 10 don't get out.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was told. Yeah.
I could see that. Is it? But I always thought the Playmate figures were clunky anyways. They're just weird.
I loved them. I loved them in the 90s, but I was really into Star Trek. So, I mean, they look good. They look better than the glue plate.
Oh, you know what? The worst part about it, you can still find those glue figures still on the card for like next to nothing because nobody.
One time they went up in price there in like the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. Like they went up, they were hard to find, and then they're back down to nothing now.
Yeah, the only one is the odd Data, the weird print, with blue face Data or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the phasers were in their hands.
In their hand, yeah. They were horrible.
It felt like them Battlestar, Buck Rogers figures from back in the day, where the guns were on their hip.
Yeah, never like that. Yeah, make no sense.
I'm glad Star Wars did not do that. Did we?
Yeah. Although Luke Skywalker Bestman has a lightsaber on his hip.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah.
So he's like, oh, I've got 2 lightsabers.
Look bad.
Well, technically, because I read the new comics, he's rocking it. He's actually finally rocking the yellow lightsaber.
Oh, does he? Okay, good.
Because he's using somebody else's lightsaber between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So that's where we're at right now in the new Marvel comics.
I got you. Okay, so it's yellow. That's cool.
The what's killing me now is that do you remember Valance, the cyborg guy from the original run? They're bringing him. They made him canon.
No, that's cool.
He's now in continuity, and we have not gotten a figure yet.
Oh, that's Hasbro. Hasbro wasn't. I thought he was going to show up. Oh, was it Boba Fett or something? Where they went to one of those shows where they went. They were showing some people that was like half metal, half human and stuff. They were working on. I think it was Boba Fett. And I was like, oh man, they couldn't have worked him into it, and they never.
I was hoping.
Yeah.
But it's bad that me and my son watch all the Star Wars shows as they drop, because it's like the father son thing we do. My 23-year-old, he legitimately comes from his house to my house to watch it. And every time we're like, is this nope, he didn't show up yet. Then you get a little excited, you're like, nope.
No, not him.
Well, it's bad that you get these awesome characters that are now canon and they've been around forever, but yet characters that they just relatively introduced since like 2015 have like, figures out already, and you're like, why don't we get balance? We got Mara Jade, we got several Mara Jades. That's why I get tired of
Hasbro. It's like, no, you can't. You can do the retro line. You can't give me a Wedge, but you can give me a Snowman Stormtrooper or
I hate
those. Rainbow color Boba Fett.
I go and I order my toys wholesale, and I'll get the list of what drops that week, and you're like, new Star Wars, click, and holiday.
Yeah, so, and I was like, I wouldn't complain they did them if they did other stuff. It's like there's so much money on the table, they just don't care. They just don't make stuff. It's like they came out with a retro board game that came with a Luke. Remember the retro board game and it had a Luke X-Wing? I was like, why didn't they just make that Wedge? They already had a Luke X-Wing. And the Tarkin came with the other board games. So I was like, I don't know what's going on at Hasbro.
Well, we had a discussion about Hasbro because I have a love-hate relationship with Hasbro.
Yeah,
because Hasbro puts out so much of the stuff that I carry at the shop. G.I. Joe, Transformers, Star Wars, Magic the Gathering, all that stuff is Hasbro. But you're just like, oh, you could slow down, or you could put out good stuff. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that's what drives me crazy. They'll be like, they'll show what's all coming out. They make like 2 things that look kind of cool.
Or what's killing me right now is that I ordered a case of figures, and when they offered the case, it was a better mix. And by the time the case gets there, it's garbage figures that nobody wants.
No,
and I'm like, I know that it's subject to change. I get that, but you should also be able to go, oh yeah, I don't want that case now.
You should have the subject to change your mind.
Yeah. I have the option, since you put different figures in, I now change my mind to get figures I want.
They probably do it. They do it on purpose. They can get rid of those that nobody wants.
They're like, oh shit, we made too many. They made freaking Werner Herzog figure from The Mandalorian. He's I'm not gonna lie. I probably could have sold 10 of them just because people think it's hilarious that they made a Werner Herzog figure. And then we were playing with it at the shop, and I'm like, so we made a Star Wars figure of me. Like,
whoever thought we got that?
Yeah, but we haven't got a really good
Yeah, I know. I complain about it all the time. I'm like, this is who they make.
Is there a figure you'd really, really like to see them make?
Well, the Hunter, like you said, Violent would be pretty cool. Yeah. They did it good. Yeah, I mean, they've done almost everything they can do, so I give them that. Unless it's through the new stuff, so I can't really think of nothing. I don't think there's anything out there they haven't made.
There's a few, but
yeah, especially in the EU. But from the original trilogy movies, I can't think of. Maybe something they hadn't made in a long time. They could go back.
They made the dude with the ice cream maker.
Yeah. They made that librarian from the prequels. So they made it where they could.
Well, it's. I have a love-hate relationship with Star Wars. I keep telling my kid that when I go to a movie or I watch a show and the beginning kicks in and I don't feel a little bit in my chest, then maybe it's time to give up. But I still that hope in me is always going to be there.
I don't have if life is short, I can get as many Star Wars movies as I can. I'll take it. Yep. I know they'll never be as good as the original 3, so
it's.
I like it. I'll just move on and wait for the next one.
I have friends of mine. He looks over and he's going through my stuff and he goes, How many copies of Star Wars do you have on VHS tape? I don't know, like 20? He's like, what?
Actually, going up on eBay now. So
Yeah, because I have the 85 release. I have the 89 or 90 release.
yeah,
Then I have the when they went back and they did this before they edit when they have those really basic cases with just like the face on each of them. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah. I got that.
I have a set of those. Then I've got the widescreen and the full screen set of the reissues. And then I probably have a couple of the early ones and whatnot. But
Yeah, I used to buy a couple years ago. I'd go into Goodwill and they used to always have them. I'd buy them. Even if I already had it, I would just buy them.
yeah. See,
So-
now I got it's right here. Yes. I managed to score these.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
Oh man.
I had a Star Wars one at one time. I don't have it anymore. Those
Well, and the thing is, though, you can never get the trilogy.
there's no Jedi.
Nope. Because they didn't make it. I think.
Get format by then. Yeah.
Yeah, because by then it was a dead format. But I also got it. Let's see. There it is. You can appreciate these. That's right.
Oh, you got the Raiders. Yes, on those
And-
SD cards. Yeah.
This what is it? The great movie stunts and the making of
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
on that. Yeah. But yet again, another one. That's it. That's all you're
it.
getting. I think. I don't think they released.
Probably not Last Crusade. Yeah, definitely not Last Crusade.
Yeah.
I've got I don't know if you can see them up here, but I've got Star Wars and Empire on beta, but that Jedi was not beta. And I like to get the beta. I like to get the Jedi one.
I do not have beta. That's the only one. I even have the 8mm Star Wars.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And,
got the. I thought I had it. I had the film. No, I was going to buy it at a toy show. The guy wanted too much for it. On the film reel,
Mhm.
they came out in the Super 8, and he wanted like 35 for it. And it was in the box still, which wasn't that bad. But I said 25. He's like, no. I said, how about 30? He said, no. I said, if he ain't gonna deal with me, then I ain't buying.
Well, it sometimes you can get lucky. I got mine, my 8mm Star Wars with the box, and
Yeah.
I just bought the projector at a garage sale,
Oh, cool. Yeah.
and I pull the projector out, and there's a little space underneath it, and it's legit somebody's wedding. And Star Wars on 8mm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, "Wonder what's on this?" And I put it in. It's legitimately was somebody's wedding. I'm like, "Huh." All right, put that aside. I'm
Yeah,
like,
me and my brother had the Super 8, one of those. We used to watch it all the time. No sound, but it was fun still to watch it over and over again.
my now goal is I finally got a 16mm projector, and I'm trying to find the 16mm.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
That's one of the goals, the big ones.
Yeah, those are hard to find. I've got all three of them, 16mm, but they're on my computer. But it's fun to watch because they're all real grainy looking and everything. So.
The I talked to one guy, and he goes out and looks for films, and he has a station wagon. He had a station wagon full
Man,
of 16mm films because he bought like what was left from a school.
yeah.
And I was like, "Do you got Star Wars?" Because nobody got Star Trek, and he had episodes of Star Trek on 16mm.
Oh, really? Man.
And I was like, and he like told me what he wanted for him. I was like, "Nah, I don't want them that bad."
Yeah.
I was like, "Star Wars, I'll spend a little bit of money, but Star Trek episodes, nah."
Yeah, episodes. Yeah. It'd be kind of cool to have Star Wars.
It's that's one of my big ones. I would love to get is the 16mm Star Wars, and I think my last Grail Star Wars I want the shuttle Tidarian, the Imperial shuttle.
Yeah, luckily I got one. I had one there to sell it when I got divorced, but I was lucky I picked up another one. So
Did you ever
well,
get that
actually,
one?
no, I sold the other one just in case my ex-wife does see. I sold it because I wanted to buy Mario Kart for me and my daughter to play it. That's what it was. So she's like, "We ain't got no money for no video games." I was like, "Okay, just watch." I was married then, too, so I was like, "Okay, I'll buy it." So, but Then I found one on Craigslist. I actually found it on Craigslist, and it was a pretty good deal on it. So.
Wow, that's insane! Finding anything good Star Wars wise on Craigslist.
Yeah, he had a shuttle Tiberian and a bunch of other stuff. One thing he had was the diecast TIE bomber, and he had all that. So I was like, "How much you want for all?" And he did a pretty good deal on it and shipped it. So I think I paid like $120 for everything. So that shuttle right there is about a couple hundred right there usually.
Yeah. So I sold what I had. I just had one that was essentially a shell, and it had wings. It had the can, but no, the doors were there. No, the cockpit was there, but I let it go, and I'm kind of like, maybe I should have kept it just in case I can never get another.
Yeah, I didn't have it as a kid. I was out of it by the time that came out, but it's so cool looking. It's one of the few things I was like, I gotta get that, and I guess the this is a fake one. Where's my fake one at? Oh, the skiff. That's one of my holy grails. That's the Target one. Which
I got the Walmart one over there.
Yeah. So it'd be kind of cool to have, but like I said, everything costs so much.
Oh, the other shuttle and A-wing. I forgot that was one of the ones I still looking for.
Yeah, A-wing's another one I really like to have. I almost bought one. A guy told me he had one. He didn't know much about Star Wars. He's like, I got that shit that looks like, he explained it to me. And I was like, well, I knew they would do one in the 90s. And he's like, no, I looked on the back of it. It's got 1985 on the copyright date. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went over to buy it. And that's when I realized they used the same mold. So the 90 ones have 85 on them. But it doesn't have a battery compartment. You open the battery compartment, there's nothing inside. So once I could tell by look because the paint's a little different. But I was like, I was like, eh. Then I already had one. So he was like, you don't want it? And I was like, no. Sorry.
I got one of the new ones. It's in a box somewhere.
Yeah, I think I got the 90s one still somewhere.
And now I'm trying to complete my sets of glasses and all that fun stuff.
Right.
I'm down to needing one of each movie for glasses to have the sets.
No, that'd be cool. Yeah.
And every time
I got Boba Fett glass because that's one I had from when I was a kid. I still have. So.
Every time I find one, it's a set. And I'm like, I only need one. I don't want to buy a whole set.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But I'll find one of these days. I'll be at a garage sale or a flea market or a.
Yeah, they're a little more common than you think to come across.
Yeah, those are the ones that get sneaky and slide through. Toys are a little harder to sneak through, and ships and stuff like that. But glasses and weird stuff like that slips through the hardcore. Like people think they're worth a ton of money.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people just see Star Wars now and they jack up the price on it though. So we're in there a lot.
I had a guy contact me a month ago. He's like, hey, I got a bunch of Star Wars stuff. Okay. Vintage Star Wars stuff.
Oh, I know what that means.
Okay. He brings it in, and I'm like looking at it. I'm like, dude, this is all the late 90s stuff.
Yeah.
I guess to him, because he was only like 30, I guess it was vintage.
He knows.
Yeah. He's like, I'll take it. I bought it and sold it. No, it's one.
You sold it? You're lucky then.
Yeah, I sold it to somebody else. Just kicked it on down the line for somebody else. So I do have a question for you. I see over here off to your side, you got the Boba Fett and you have the A-Team van. But what figures are below that A-Team van?
Over here?
Yeah.
That's Superpowers.
Oh, it's Superpower? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize you could see that far. Yeah, I didn't realize you could see that far.
Yeah.
Which, believe it or not, all those superpowers, somebody just gave it to me free that watches the YouTube channel. And it was like, I got some superpower figures, you want them? And I was like, I'll take them if you don't.
Well, I had somebody send me a box full of original Robotech toys.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah. So I have the Veritech hover tank, and I got some other stuff. And I'm like, dude, what do you want for those? He's like, none, man, they're yours. I'm like, thank you. So they're set up over there.
Yeah. Yeah. And one guy sent me, I couldn't believe they sent me the Sandcrawler because he saw it was on my Holy Grail list. and I could not believe it. I think the doors broke off the back, but yeah,
they
don't have the remote, but yeah, but it's just but it's like as long as it sits up and looks nice, that's all I care about.
Oh yeah. That's the one thing I've not gotten used to being on YouTube is when people just randomly send me stuff. And I get fan mail and I'm like legit mail, like letters. You're like, what? People still do this? I appreciate it.
Yeah, I get it sometimes. Now I feel bad. I was like, I hope the people don't think they got to send me stuff. They're like, you want me to send? I was like, you want to, but
it's so, and I tell people, it's like, I'm if you send it to me, I won't get rid of it. It'll just become part of the set.
Yeah. I mean, I've got. I don't know if I should say. Well, sometimes I get stuff and it's like open up. I'm like, I think he sent me this because he didn't want it. But there was a bunch of crap stuff. It's like the crap 2010s, not just generic figures all out of the box, not Star Wars or nothing. So I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this?
See, I can pass it on to my kid.
Oh yeah, see, mine got too old. They're like, I don't want that. So.
We're about the same. You got to be old man and have your old kids and your adult children, and that was when I realized I was getting old. When I realized that 3 of my 4 kids were adults.
No, yeah, that'll get you. Yeah, I got 2, and one's almost an adult. No, one is an adult. So,
which one's your oldest? Your son or your?
My daughter's 24. My son's 17. So
it's 32.
Oh, well, that was
27, 23, and 13.
Oh, okay.
Because I wasn't smart enough to stop after the 23.
I don't know if I can count. I don't know if I can count them as an adult if they're not on their own.
Yeah, all 3 the adults are on their own.
Okay, so like my daughter's 24 and she's still at home and deciding what she wants to do with life. I was like, okay.
My 23-year-old works for me. I'm his employer. He works at this shop, and I just like, what do you want? He's like, I need money. Here you go.
Oh, that'd be good.
It's no different than him living at the house. I still give him money when he asks for it.
Right.
I don't want to keep you too much longer here. Where can people find you on the?
Type in thatjunkman.com. It'll take you right to my YouTube channel. But any social media, that Junkman, so you can find me.
And for those who don't know, Junkman is starting shit with other toy guys.
No, I like to be honest and give my opinion, and they don't like I give my because I don't kiss their ass. Is what it is. I never started on purpose. I just like to give my view of something they said or my thoughts on something. And
it's as I put the day I finally got my first bit of hate mail. And I knew I'd made it when I got hate mail.
Yeah. I was gonna say you're on the right track now.
Oh, yeah, you're on the right track. I got people who dislike me on the internet.
Yeah.
Well, the problem. I mean, a lot of people take shit people say to heart, and I don't always agree with what you say. You probably don't agree. But there's probably things I've said that you don't agree with.
Yeah.
And I get it. We're different people. You're from different parts of the country. You got different sensibilities and stuff like that. And to be honest, I don't know these guys on there. And some of them, I'm not going to say any names or nothing like that. There's so many people, because I've had people point this out to me about my show. There's so many fake people that aren't, they're this persona that they portray online. And if you even mess with that persona, they wig out because they don't want people to know how they really are. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm open book. You can ask me any freaking question. I'll tell you the truth.
I'll tell you, or at least say I don't want to tell you. That's
like I see people still bring up, you are open about it and honest about it, but when you were trolling the guys on the radio.
Yeah, like, I mean, I thought everyone got the joke, and a couple didn't. Pretty clear there's not many people that's really a teenage girl that's talking about Barnaby Jones episodes. I thought it was so obvious, a joke, a troll account.
But and you basically showed him that the dude was a creeper, and yet people were coming on you, and you're like,
yeah. So I was like, well, if you're more upset that somebody fooled a creeper than you are the creeper trying to hook up with a kid, then that means you're probably worried about who you're talking to online.
oh man. As I put, because I talk to all the people who reach out to me with the show and stuff like that. I'll chat with them, and I'm like, okay, this one's a little weird. We're gonna be like, nope.
Yeah, I got. Yeah, I don't think. I'm saying I got somebody that sends me like a message over Facebook, probably 15, 20 times a day, and he says that I'm his best friend, and I never even reply back to him. At first I did, but when we started talking about, oh, you're my best friend, and I was like, okay, I gotta ease out of here. They still every day I'll look and it'd be like 6 new messages. Oh god.
Well, it's the whole thing is that my mother-in-law and my wife watched soap operas when they were younger, years ago, and there's those people who watch for so long and they're there with you every day. There's people, and they can associate with you because they do see you every day and everything.
Yeah.
And to them, you've become part of their life.
Yeah.
And I get that because of the shop a lot, because I have people who I couldn't tell you their last name, and I feel bad about it sometimes because they are regular customers, but I don't remember people's last names.
Yeah.
And they'll come in and they'll act like we're best friends, and I'm like, okay, we're cool and all, but you're not my. I'm not going to go hang out with you.
No.
I'm not going to go. I'm a pretty chill dude, and I hang out with a very small group of people, and that's the way I like to keep it.
Yeah. I've got a few that said, "Hey man, I'm going to be in I'm going to be in your state, man. You want to hang out?" And I'm like, you got to talk to me a little bit more than that. I got to get to know you a little bit before I just want to hang out with you.
I get people who run into me because they're like, "Hey, are you going to be at this show? Are you going to be at that show?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, you know what? I'll go up." I'm like, "Fist bump, say hello, appreciate your day, man," and then move on. I don't hang out with them.
I get some at the toy shows and stuff.
Yeah,
most time everybody's pretty chill. They just want to say hey and get a picture maybe, and that's it.
Yeah, but no, I appreciate what you do. You're a fun dude. You enjoy what you do. You're out there, being yourself, being a collector. You're not, you seem like a legit person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You seem like that I don't want to give your real name away, but
that's her.
I'm sure there's people out there that have it, but
yeah, I mean, link to my Facebook. Well, yeah, I usually don't put it out there, but it's not hard to get.
But the difference between you and the Junkman is just the Junkman's on film on YouTube, and
Yeah, mostly, yeah.
Yeah, you're not playing the character a whole lot.
No, I mean,
just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm sure you do too. Sometimes you egg it on a little bit. You add a little bit to it when you get the camera in front of you.
Oh yeah. You got to have fun. If you're not having fun doing it, then why are you doing it?
Man, there's some out there that I think all their fun is being upset and not having fun.
I don't get that at all. I don't. Here's the one thing. This is anybody can take this as they want. I don't understand being a toy collector and being angry at shit.
Yeah, I don't either.
I can complain about the fact that they're not releasing the toys I want, or they release way too many paper, whatever that. But I don't take anything seriously when it comes to my toys. I like them, I collect them, whatever. If my kid don't touch them, but if he were to open them, I'd be a little upset. But I'd be like, we're moving on, go to the next thing. I'm not going to kill me. I don't look at it as like, okay, you don't like these toys, or you're complaining because this guy makes counterfeit shit, whatever. But I don't get it. it's just have fun, man. Just enjoy what you do.
Yeah. Well, I know a couple of some that do movie news. And it's like, you come on talk movie news with you, and they're all every time. There's always negative news. There's always angry something they don't like. And I was like, I don't know how you make. I like you guys, but I don't know how you make a video every day about upset about the latest Star Wars news or movie news. I said it'd drive me crazy if I was just mad all the time.
I look forward to every Star Wars thing that comes out, and I can grumble about certain things, and then I'm like,
yeah, some of them I don't like, and just move on. It's out of my head. I don't like it. I'm going.
Yep.
I won't watch it again.
But no, as always, you are fun to talk to. You're a guy who has been able to parlay his enjoyment of Star Wars and 80s, 70s, and 80s toys, and able to do something with it. And you have fun doing it. I mean, you legitimately look like you're having fun. Like when you and Russ are on here doing your back and forth, that's fun.
Yeah,
I don't get to watch some of the long form videos as much as your short form videos.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, it's hard to. I'm the same way. If it's something real long, usually I'm like, okay, I'll come back to it.
Yeah,
I get that.
As I record an hour and plus episode, but yeah, like I said, man, it's always fun talking to you. You're a good dude.
Appreciate it.
Everybody's got their thing, and you're out having fun and enjoying Star Wars and collecting and fucking with people every once in a while.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, but I want you to take care and have a good Christmas, and hope you find some stuff that you want. And I thought I'd find some stuff I wanted today at the comic and toy show, and legit
nothing. Yeah, I got a toy show coming up in March, so maybe something.
I got people asking me because there's a toy show next weekend, and I'm like, "Are you going to set up?" I'm like, "No, I don't like setting up all the time. I got to get up early and drag all my shit."
Yeah, I thought about doing a toy show one time. I was like, I want to walk around, so I was like,
Yeah. The only thing that came out good was I'm always on the lookout for like the British comic import stuff.
Oh yeah, that's good.
So I found a stack of those. That was what my big goal this week.
Yeah.
But you take care and have a good day. And I will put your links and stuff, and people can come check you out and all that fun stuff. And anytime you ever want to talk about anything, you can pop up, give me a ring, and bullshit. I don't care.
Okay, sounds good. And let me know when this is up.
This will actually probably drop tomorrow afternoon if I get edited fast enough. Because
if you remind me, then I'll let people know.
Yep, I will let you know because I'll probably work on it tonight. I'll drop you a message, and then it'll be ready tomorrow afternoon. So
okay, sounds good.
All right, man. Have a good night. Take care. See ya.
Okay, thanks.